What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update, as we may have just seen the end of MSNBC's Joe Scarborough in the next clip, guys. Seems like he just cannot get over Donald Trump and his wins, his success. Every single time we see Donald Trump, coming forth with another major victory, we've got this guy Joe Scarborough absolutely losing his stuff. Same here in this clip. We got MSNBC's Joe Scarborough going off the rails about Donald Trump and his success. Donald Trump, they think that he's supposed to be taking L's and big backfires because of the amounts of charade cases and political witch hunts that we're seeing brought about, tacked on to Donald Trump. He thinks that, in the voters' eye, the American people's eye, Donald Trump should be tarnished, tainted in a sense, and no one should be looking his way. But the exact opposite is what's been happening. Donald Trump has been turning this bad situation into a beautiful situation by, campaigning through these court cases and these witch hunts. It's got Joe Scarborough absolutely losing his stuff, being forced to scream, yell, and lie and gaslight his audience into believing that Donald Trump is doing worse than what he really is, guys. I'm excited to get in this clip and see exactly what Joe Scarborough is doing now, or saying to his audience to make himself look so foolish, to the point where MSNBC is now in question on whether or not they're going to keep the host on or off the air, guys. So we're going to get straight to the clip, and I'll get my thoughts on the back end, guys. So definitely stick around until the end. So I just get my thoughts on the back end, and also YouTube, push this video out. Definitely stick around until the end, you guys. But let's get straight into the clip. Before we can do that, though, make sure you guys hit that like button for me, and also hit that subscribe button, as we're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. Let's get into it, y'all.
Yes, it's time for Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scar Tissue, as they have some kind of PTSD. They forget, they have amnesia, forgetting how Democrats were pushing for an alternate electors, going for different vote counts back when Trump beat Hillary. Mainstream stars, we're going to show you clips of them, because Joe Scarborough, they're going to make a big deal out of Tim Scott, saying that he won't go along necessarily with the election results, or at least he dodges the question. Watch this. Welcome to Doug in Exile. It would be a shame if you didn't subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss a single episode. We're trying to get to over 500,000 subscribers, and I need you to be on the team. Thank you.
Positive, conservative message. And that was, of course, Tim Scott. That guy's completely disappeared. And now, when asked whether he would support the democratic process and whether, Mika, he would support election results when Americans go out and vote, would he accept those results?
Nah, don't believe all this garbage. They never said anything positive about Tim Scott, and they hate him because he's a conservative black man. But here's a Hollywood piece that I dug up from a nonprofit that was trying to get Hillary to win the Electoral College vote by having Republicans flip their votes and go for Biden, which would be now called fake electors.
Republican members of the Electoral College, this message is for you. As you know, our founding fathers built the Electoral College to safeguard the American people from the dangers of a demagogue, and to ensure that the presidency only goes to someone who is to an eminent degree endowed with the requisite qualifications.
Well, boy, how did we get Biden with the endowed with the requisite qualifications? Because apparently the founders completely failed on that one. Your system didn't work. We got Biden. We got a mannequin in the office.
He couldn't answer.
Can't do it. This is an interview on Meet the Press where Republican Senator Tim Scott, who is widely considered to be on Trump's short list for vice president, refused to answer whether he would accept the 2024 election results as legitimate, no matter the outcome. Here's that exchange.
Well, Senator, will you commit to accepting the election results of 2024? Bottom line.
Well, at the end of the day, the 47th president of the United States will be President Donald Trump.
The Electoral College was created specifically to prevent an unfit candidate from becoming president.
Instead, we're going to go with the standard by these Hollywood guys that say that the goal is to keep from electing a unfit president. And now polls are turning against Biden, saying he is much less fit than Trump. So I just want to tell all these Hollywood people, we're correct. We're going to go with your standard this year. The Electoral College, Democrats, we're reaching out to you. pick the most fit, Biden will not take a cognitive test. We have no clue of how bad the damage is upstairs in his bowl of soup.
I'm excited to get back to low inflation, low unemployment.
Wait, Senator, yes or no? Yes or no? Will you accept the election results of 2024 no matter who wins?
That is my statement.
There are 538 members of the Electoral College. You
and just 36 other conscientious Republican electors could make a difference.
By voting your conscience.
Yeah, you and just 37 Democrat electors could just vote your conscience. That's all we're looking for. That's what Tim Scott should answer. Because I'm going to give the Hollywood Marty Sheen answer.
But is it just yes or no? Will you accept the election results of 2024?
I look forward to President Trump being the 47th president.
I'm not asking you to vote for Hillary Clinton.
I'm not asking you to vote for Hillary Clinton.
I'm not asking you to vote for Hillary Clinton.
Oh, yes, you are. Yeah, and I'm not asking you to vote for Trump. Just use your conscience, people.
Just a yes or no answer.
So the American people will make the decision.
But I don't hear you committing
for President Trump. That's clear.
I don't hear you committing to the election results.
Here's the deal.
Will you commit to accepting the election results?
This is why so many Americans believe that NBC is an extension of the Democrat Party.
As you know, the Constitution gives electors the right to vote for any eligible person.
Any eligible person, no matter which party they belong to.
Yeah, there's only one eligible person, and that's Trump, because Biden's not even conscious. But I just want to keep encouraging my Republican brothers and sisters to hold tight to this concept, which they keep claiming is constitutional.
At the end of the day, I've said what I've said, and I know that the American people, their voices will be heard, and I believe that President Trump will be our next president. It's that simple.
But, Senator, as you know, the hallmark of our democracy is that both candidates agree to a peaceful transfer of power. So I'm asking you, as a potential VP nominee, will you accept to commit to the election results in this election cycle, no matter who wins?
But it should certainly be someone you consider especially competent.
Especially competent to serve as President of the United States of America.
And Democrats, they're projecting again. Anytime they're trying to pin down Tim Scott, ask the Democrats the same question. Will you go with the general election results? Will you do it? That shouldn't be asked of Republicans. We don't have the giant track record of going against it. It's the Democrats that will. They're projecting on you. They're not going to accept the results. Joe Scarborough is going to come out day after the election and go, well, we can't accept the election results because Trump's a felon or Trump is an insurrectionist. You already heard all the excuses they're lining up. They've done lawsuits on it, guys. Don't fall for them.
Simply yes or no.
You and other brave Republican electors can give the House of Representatives the option to select a qualified candidate for the presidency.
Yeah, get your qualified candidate in there. We all know Biden's not qualified. Trump is qualified.
I'm stunned. I can't believe.
What is evident is that Donald Trump lacks more than the qualifications to be president.
He lacks the necessary stability.
And clearly the respect for the Constitution of our great nation.
You have the position,
the authority,
and the opportunity to go down in the books as an American hero.
Yes, my Republican representatives, you can go down in the history books as an American hero. That's what Hollywood says of your job.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Coming from our friend Doug in Exile. I'll definitely be sure to leave that original video link down in the description box below for those who want to go over there and check that out. Also, you guys to go over there and show our friend Doug a bit of love. Oh my goodness, guys. MSNBC and NBC ought to be ashamed of themselves. And this is exactly what, Tim Scott was keying in on there in that clip, saying that this is why they say NBC is an extension of the Democratic Party, guys. You go on trying to pressure and, pit people in these corners to say, what you want them to say. I'm not going to do it, guys. I'm just going to boast, and put my president up. An NBC host ought to be ashamed of herself, trying to push that on to Tim Scott and make him answer that question. I mean, honestly, how are you going to ask someone and expect a straightforward answer or an honest answer that they can keep their word on ahead of the 2024 election if they're going to accept the legitimacy of the election before it's even happened and they've even seen the outcome of it. I mean, like, come on. So many things happen from, here to there. Really just feel like this was a setup for later on down the road. Some funky stuff could happen and they could point back to this clip, especially this NBC reporter who, specifically asked Tim Scott, whether or not he is going to accept the 2024 outcome of the election, whether or not, Trump wins, he doesn't. I mean, if he accepts this here and says, yes, I will accept the outcome, no matter who wins, there could be so much funky stuff that happens. And then that reporter can come back, or everyone can come back. You know how the internet works. This stuff never goes away. So stuff like this, they'll come back and use your words verbatim and say that, you said you would accept the outcome of the 2024 election, whether or not it was Trump or not, no matter how it happened. So technically, you can't be an election denier, or else you're just, your word means nothing. And that's why we're seeing Tim Scott here in this clip, refusing to answer that question coming from the NBC report. I mean, it's really a silly question to be trying to push onto someone. And then we got MSNBC's Joe Scarborough and Mika trying to, push this to say that, he should have answered that question. They just all hate Tim Scott. Let's be honest, guys. They all have an enemy within Tim Scott because he is a black man who's not on the Democratic side. He supports Donald Trump and the Republican. No matter what he says or does, as long as he is standing beside Donald Trump and running with the Republicans, there's going to be a huge target on his back for folks like NBC, MSNBC, who is clearly an extension of the Democratic Party. As we can see right here, we can see the projection straight through MSNBC and NBC hosts, guys. They're trying to say that, it's going to be the right that's going to be denying the election once again. But we already can see that they're a little bit panicked just by the polls. There's no reason for the right to be panicked about Donald Trump and his success. Later on this year, we got Tim Scott doubling down saying, why would I be upset if, Donald Trump is going to win? But then on the other hand, on the left, guys, they're very panicked, worried about the outcome of the election because they've got, this puppet Manchurian candidate who there's no way that he's going to be able to walk across that finish line later on this year. So they have no hope but to deny the outcome of what happens later on this year, guys. There's going to be some type of, accusation coming out following the outcome of the elections, whether that be this guy should be a convicted felon, and convicted felon can't be or serve as a president, or that be, the insurrection tactics that they've been trying to take. I mean, something's going to come out. This is all what they're leaning and, gearing up for. Definitely hop in the comment section though, guys, and let me know your thoughts on this. And we're seeing MSNBC and NBC, absolutely panicking. This is a sort of panic in these clips where we see them trying to pressure Tim Scott into answering whether or not he will be accepting the outcome of the 2024 election, whether or not, it's Donald Trump in that seat or not. And of course, he's not answering that ahead of the outcome of the election or, how we got to the outcome. And it's got them upset and frantic. Furthering the point to say that the left is gearing up to challenge the 2024 election outcome. Guys, definitely hop in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on this one. Also, make sure you guys hit that share button. Share this out to as many Facebook friends as possible, guys. Share the truth. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button. It doesn't cost one thing, guys. Hit that like button for your boy. And also hit that subscribe button, guys. We're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. I'll catch you guys on the next week.